Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to meet someone from Hong Kong and he's going to talk about interview questions, resume or CV on a CEO perspective. So this video is really amazing guys. So if you like this video, please keep on watching until the end. Do not skip para wala kang mamiss na tips and tricks na i-share ko at niya throughout the video. So without further ado, let's get started! Kung bago ka lang sa channel na to, I'm Kajea, a virtual assistant, executive assistant, bookkeeper, accountant. So kahit anong work, pinapasok ko, basta't online. Kasi online work is amazing! Sa channel na to, dinidiscuss natin more on online work, tips and tricks, and mga success stories. So kung interested ka sa mga topic na yon, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit the notification bell para wala kang ma-miss na video na ina-upload ko every week. So guys, as I mentioned, we are joined today by Lohan Timmermans, a Belgian entrepreneur living in Hong Kong since 2008. He graduated with 2 master degrees in management and labor sciences. He is currently finishing his doctoral dissertation in chaos, complexity, and corporate culture. He started his career in management consulting before opening his own company in 2012. So guys, the most amazing part about this person is out of his 27 employees, Lohan has currently 17 people from the Philippines. Without further ado, let's welcome Lohan Timmermans. Lohan, can you please say hi to our viewers and tell us where you are in the world?
Hi, Janet. Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. Thanks for the invitation, Janet. I'm currently in Hong Kong. I'm in my office in Hong Kong because you will record this thing, but with Janet. So yeah, I'm waiting for your question now, Janet.
Oh, so today's episode is really amazing because we're gonna learn the tips or tricks about resume and interviews from Lohan, which is a CEO. So for those who are watching this video right now, so take notes, and yeah, so this will be very helpful for those who are newbies and also those who have experience already. So Lohan, on my intro about you, I have mentioned there that you have 17 VAs from the Philippines. So my first question would be, why are you considering hiring someone from the Philippines?
So my stories with the VAs is I started in 2017. So what happened to me is that I'm running an accounting, audit, taxation firm in Hong Kong, so business services in general. And what happened is that we had a lot of issues with the accountant. So what happened is that the accountants were coming here, work for 2-3 months, jump to another jobs. Because what you have to understand in Hong Kong is that the accountants are not really well paid in general, but the service of accounting is also really low for the clients. And so we end up in a really weird situation where we don't charge much to the clients because there's so much competition that we can't really charge too much, otherwise the clients don't choose us. And in the meantime, the accountant, they would like to earn more, but they cannot because the salaries are really low. And if we charge more, then the company doesn't make money. It's a big challenge for us in Hong Kong. And it's not nice for the accountant either, because then they are never happy. So what I did, I started to look for options to go in countries where the cost of accounting will be lower. Initially, I found Vietnam. And everything was ready, but at the last minute we chose the Philippines, mainly for English and for availability of talent. So this is why we choose the Philippines. Now, why the Philippines now, and why the VAs? So in the Philippines, we could find really competent people for the accounting. We could train them. They are really hardworking, really nice people. It's a pleasure to work with the Philippines for once. Second, we could pay them well, even sometimes really well, the local standard. So they were happy to work with us, and most of our staff are there since 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
They tend to stick with us a long run So that shows something, so happy, and they get good salaries, some buy their own house, get their mortgage, so we really try to build a team there. So this is really nice for me as a founder of the company to see people developing inside the company. In Hong Kong I couldn't achieve that. In Hong Kong we couldn't pay, and that was annoying. So one of the reasons, so we have qualified staff, people that are happy and stay with us, and then we can make them happy as well with a good salary compared to the local salaries. So this is the main attraction. And maybe a fourth one is we can scale it. So now that we have a system and we know how to select and train people, we can easily add 1, 2, 3 accountants really quickly to the team. So that's the beauty for us in the Philippines. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Thank you, Lohan. So when you're looking for a Filipino VA or accountant or auditor, where do you usually post the job openings in your company?
So for us, initially, we did on jobs, online jobs, I think, .ph, something like that. So that's how we started. But now, as our accountant talk to their friends and their friends are accountant as well, we always have a reserve of candidates. We still have ads on online jobs, but we give priority to the friend of our family, so of our accountants. And then each time we have an opening, we directly receive 3, 5 JDs from our accountants themselves. So we don't really need to look on platform anymore, although I think we still pay the fees monthly and we still have our ads there, but we don't really need to use it anymore. Yeah.
All right. So we already talked about the website where you post the job opening. So now, when someone applies for the position, are you like checking their CV or resume?
Okay, so we do, so on online jobs, because you asked me about the CV and I forgot how we did, but it's true that on online jobs, you have the profile. So usually we don't care too much about the CV, but this is our perspective. I'm sure some other employers will want to see a formal CV and have a look. But yeah, we look at the resume for sure to make sure that the person is qualified. But the good thing also with the Philippines is that it's easy to test. We make you do the job and then we see if you are really good or just suck. It is not easy to hire VA, especially at the beginning. We had a lot of trial and error. But now we streamline the process and we are much better at getting good candidates. But initially, yeah, we could hire like 4 to 5 people and keeping just one.
Yeah.
We look at the CV, but we prefer to test the people in the company. And now that we get the referrals from our staff, these referrals tend to be much better than what we can find on online jobs.ph.
Yeah, so what is the first thing that you usually check to consider someone to move to the next level of the hiring process?
For us, we like to have many candidates. So we will just see first if they check on the basics. Do they have the right academic background? Do they have some experience in our field? Do they know, for example, we work a lot with Xero. So when you tell us that you know Xero, kind of jump up on the list. Xero is an accounting software for those non-accountant in here. We check these basic things like in a normal hiring process. Yes, we check salaries as well, because on online jobs, I don't know if you ask this question later on, but if you see, for example, that we are recruiting for an accountant and then you see people asking for 18,000, 20,000, 25, 30,000, 35, even 40, and you see everything falls within 18 and 40,000 pesos, and suddenly you have a candidate that asks for 80,000. I mean, unless the guy has a PhD in accounting and is super experienced, we'll be like, oh, okay, no point. No, we can't. I mean, what's the point to even interview that person? So we just shortlist. So you have to know like what is your market value, what is a reasonable price. You will normally earn more as a VA than with a normal job in the Philippines. This is clear, but just make your research before. People are keen to pay more, but make sure you don't ask double, because if you're unrealistic, you will just go on the wrong pile.
All right, yeah, that's totally correct. So, Lohan, can you give us some tips on what should be included in their resume? Like what should be like, do we include like photo, what kind of photo? So something like that.
Mm. Well, as I told you yesterday, the resume is not that important really. I
Yes.
mean, obviously the content is important for sure, but I mean, it is not the number one criteria, when we will hire. However, the tips I'll give you here are really basics because, and actually they are basics, but if you actually apply those few tips, you're already part of the top 5% of the candidate. Actually, all the tips I'll give today, they are really basics. But the quality of the applications we are receiving is sometimes so low that by just doing these basic stuffs, you will directly get on top of the list. So number one, make sure you present the CV well. Like don't send, if you send a CV, don't send just a word with just a text on top with all your qualification. I mean, that looks terrible. It doesn't make us feel really confident in your sincerity. Make sure you structure your CV, your academic background, your experience, etc. Typos, double check that there is no typo, because if you have a typo, every 3 words will be like, it's not
Yeah.
really serious because the person is not really detail minded, especially depending on the kind of job you apply to. A lot of VA job is for administrative duties. You cannot make typo all the time, is not great. What I would recommend you to do is find a CV template online and just follow it. You don't need to make anything really fancy. Just go online, find something that works and that is clean and well structured, and you just fill in with your own thing. So that's what I would recommend you to do. And also, I mean, we'll discuss more tips today as well. Make sure that you follow those different tips when you write the CV as well. Now, concerning the picture, I like picture because it makes the whole thing more personal. Not everybody likes the picture. However, if you choose to put a picture, choose it well. Okay, so there is a few no-go. Okay, so this is not a great professional picture, so the one when you make a little V and a smile, avoid this one. Try to remain professional. The other kind of pictures I have seen a lot, is a full body picture on the beach with a pose. Again, this is not for the CV. One is really common in onlinejobs.com. It will be your graduation picture. So I don't know you, but if you want to look like a fresh graduate, yes, do that. But it is not great. It is not a great way to look experience if you look like a graduate. So think about it. Maybe it's your best pictures, yes, because you took it just after graduation. But few employers want to hire fresh grad. And then last type of picture that I will also recommend not to put, it happens also a lot on online jobs, is that some girls, it's mainly with girls, they look cute, and they put this really beautiful picture as if they were dating. The truth is, like, do you want an employer or do you want
A lover.
a lover? Because the thing is that, yes, some guys will be really sensitive to that, but what kind of boss you will have if he chooses you based on your beautiful picture? I don't think it's a good idea. What I would recommend is go to a photograph, or nowadays we can also do nice pictures on the phone. Choose a good background, white or something with a good lighting, and take a picture where you're in professional clothing. And here we are. If you want to put a picture, put that. That's the right attitude and the right type of pictures. But avoid all the ones I mentioned before because it looks terrible. It doesn't help. If it's what you have, don't use it. But if you can have a really nice picture where you look pro, great, use that one.
All right, that's nice. So, in my experience, I have seen like many CV or resume with like their graduation picture in it. So yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for sharing that. We have talked about resume now. Let's like just talk a little about cover letter. Like, is it required to have a cover letter in sending
Oh,
applications?
don't waste your time with that. I don't think, especially if you're on online jobs, even sometimes even CV is not required on online jobs. That PH. You
Yeah.
don't need to put a cover letter. What you can do is write a nice professional message when you apply, but no need a complete letter. Especially these letters are generally really standardized, and it's all like yes, I am really motivated and committed and determined, and I want to add value to your company, and all these kind of lines we read them like 30 times a day. It becomes yeah, blah blah blah, you know.
Yeah.
So avoid that, but more like whoever is posting, you know, you put his name and you say, I'm really interested in the job ads that you post. I think I might be a right candidate due to my both academic background and professional experience. It will be a pleasure to have an interview and see if I'm the right candidate for your company. You know, best regard, whoever applies. You know? So you just put your name. And I mean, this is just enough already. It looks nice, professional, well written, you know, and that's good enough already. You should just do something like that. It's totally fine. No need to make a big letter.
Yeah. So actually, those cover letter is like they were copy pasted from the internet,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we read them 30 times the same. So you don't look smart, you just look, you copy paste it somewhere.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty helpful, especially for the newbies and expert who's watching this video. So guys, better check your resume or CV and prepare. Maybe if it is asked for you to send a cover letter, then you have to prepare. But for sure, after watching this video, so you can now edit your resume and yeah, apply for the job. And I hope that you land your ideal job after this video. So guys, so that's the first part of our video, and we do hope that you learned a lot from the tips and tricks from Lohan. So guys, this is from a CEO perspective, so you should know now what to do next on your next applications. So guys, for this video, we have part 2, so please keep an eye on that, and yeah, I'll see you on our next video. Bye!